Hey everybody, it's GeekStorm. We're minus a Sean, we're minus a Mike Harrison. Although you may have noticed Sean, he's at Origins in Ohio. He's been doing some live streaming, showing what's what over there. Yeah. So in case you've never been, watch those live streams. You can kind of get an idea.
Origins, great show. Board games, some RPGs, mostly a board game and like miniature convention. But the other great thing about Origins is it's right next to North Market. And North Market is delicious. I'm a little sad I'm not there with him right now. I usually go. This year just didn't work out for me. But I get to be here, hanging out.
I do have a question for you though, because I was thinking about that after looking at Sean's many posts regarding food.
Yes.
And I seem to recall similar posts from both of you at Gen Con last year. So what's the greater attraction for you guys? Is it the gaming or is it the food?
Origins is almost the food. Gen Con is more I think for gaming, but we do go out to eat we're not at home, so going out to eat every night, but it's hanging out with friends that we don't get to see all the time, or people flying over from around the country or even around the world. So a lot of out to eat, and we choose to eat good places and I'll spend money on some good food. I want to eat steak and shake every night.
What? Nah, but it's just right there.
It is right there. And it's also, if you go steak during Gen Con, it's like right there and an hour and a half wait. So two things I don't want.
We usually just go to Johnny Rockets. We know it won't be that long of a wait. And get a giant burger and people sing.
It's true. I think they closed, didn't they?
Did they?
I'm pretty sure they closed at Circle Center.
Oh.
Pretty sure. Could be wrong. I don't go to Circle Center very often, but I thought somebody told me that. That could be a lie.
Now I've got to rethink my whole plan.
Yeah, Gen Con's canceled. Cancel Gen Con.
Yeah, pretty much. And speaking of gaming, tomorrow is Free RPG Day. If you're familiar with Free Comic Book Day, same premise, only it's RPG stuff. Adventures, see, Paizo's got a couple of adventures.
So it's the two adventures in I think the card for the adventure card game, I think is what that card is.
D&D's got a deluxe character folio. There's a Call of Cthulhu adventure. There's some dice. There's a bunch of stuff.
There's always like some of the big people always put some stuff in there, and then there's just a smattering of random things that are always interesting if you get to see it all. I've had the pleasure to be able to go through and look at all of the box stuff before. There's always also a free RPG die too, but all this stuff's limited quantities, so you gotta make sure you get there early. And depending on the game shop, they want you to play in the game. So a lot of the game shops, what they do is they sponsor game events and they run the games, and you play in the game, and then you can get some of the free RPG prizes. Or sometimes if they have a lot of stuff, the GMs are the ones that get because it's usually at adventures. So GMs will get that if it's a big area. So always still really neat. Exclusive adventures, you can. Like the Paizo ones, you can usually pick up after like about a month after Free RPG Day.
A lot of them you can, yeah.
Some of the other ones are exclusive. That's it. They're for that.
But I popped over to freerpgday.com just to see what all they had, and then they've got a interactive map. You type in your address, and they show you what game shops are participating.
Mm-hmm. No one's participating.
Not around here.
Yeah, that makes me sad. Makes me sad.
Be a lot of driving.
Yeah. Have plans tomorrow, unfortunately. So,
are we playing Star Trek tomorrow?
Maybe. I don't know. Probably not, because everybody's gone.
Who's everybody? I know Sean was going to be out. Who else is out?
No, Derek. I don't know. We're going to play Star Trek tomorrow.
I don't know. Yeah. If not, I'll do something else. I don't
know. So, other big thing, gaming news besides Origins and Free RPG Day this last week, E3. If you're unfamiliar with what E3 is, it is pretty much the video game announcement mecca. They give you updates. It's pretty much used to be completely exclusive to Video Game Insider. I say exclusive. It's Video Game Insiders.
Used to you couldn't get in unless you had some kind of credentials.
But like the amount of people that were there, I'm like, that's a lot of people with reporters. People had started, I'm pretty sure it started their own. I got a vlog. Yeah, I'm gonna record this.
I blog. Give me a pass.
Yeah, exactly. But it's where you wait all year to hear a lot of the big video game announcements and stuff like that. So all the majors have by majors I mean like Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo. They all have conferences on different days. There's some other conference. Bethesda also has a conference. Usually has a big press conference. There's a PC one.
Ubisoft. I
Yep,
mean, a bunch of the
Ubisoft.
companies had their own. Because anymore, a single company may put out this game. If it's successful, that allows them to create other games. So eventually, they got a whole umbrella of different games they can pull from. And I was actually surprised. Red Dead Redemption 2 was not.
Rockstar typically doesn't show up. Like, well, they're there, but they don't usually do a big hoopla for it because they're like, our games are going to sell. Which, quite honestly, several of the other companies, like Bethesda, their games are going to sell. But Bethesda's built up their reputation of having, I think, a big to-do for their games and announcements and stuff. Rockstar just is like, we're going to show you the trailer. There'll be probably some more footage that comes out like a little later this week.
Bethesda did have quite the bomb that they dropped.
Yeah. So we want to start with Bethesda and move into the other one?
Sure.
So Bethesda, probably one of the, I think the better of the conferences I saw. Microsoft's was, in my opinion, a little lackluster. PlayStation's showed a lot of good games. There was like no talking though. Like there was a weird interlude with like people chatting like as they moved from the opening room to the other room, but it really wasn't like they didn't tell anything. They just pretty much played trailers for 45 minutes. Nintendo had several game announcements with gameplay footage. I thought Nintendo's was good, but I don't think Nintendo caught me off guard with anything that they kind of threw out there. It was all
actually
stuff we were either knew was coming and they expanded.
The first game was new.
Oh yeah,
Daemon Ex Machina.
yeah, that one. That was the first one that was kind of a surprise. The rest of it was like stuff we either knew was coming, or we were pretty sure they were gonna like show us. So I didn't think it like. It was exciting to see the stuff that we thought, but nothing. It wasn't like
Actually, that caused. He said it. I've said it. You've now said it. Wasn't anything really surprising or wowing. Their stock went down 15%.
Yeah.
Every other company, because around in June, because of E3, their stock generally goes up.
Yeah.
Nintendo's went down because nothing wowed anybody.
Usually Nintendo does like have like debut or like, hey, we've got this idea for this thing. This is what we're gonna do, or that like. Whether the thing works out or whatnot, but like, even though there's like the games where like stuff we knew was coming and then stuff that we expected to come, like there was nothing ground shaking.
But Smash though.
I mean, everybody's going to go crazy for Smash Brothers. I mean, it'll be probably one of their #1 bestsellers.
To be fair, they do other announcements throughout the year like that. So.
But Bethesda I thought had one of the kind of the best conferences though, as I watched them all. That being said, they started off, I thought, a little rocky. It was very teleprompter ready, hot mics where they weren't turned off properly, weird, awkward pauses at first.
Maybe that's why PlayStation decided, we're just gonna
cut that
put
out.
the trailers up there.
And then I was like, I forgot Andrew WK was a thing until he kicked it off after their opening little words. Played the song and then moved on.
We'll have to get back to that because there were a couple of celebrities that have their own production studios that are now veering into video games.
Yeah, I totally spaced that. I was like, oh yeah, that was a guy that played music and did stuff. But so they did that. I like the fact that Bethesda also poked fun at because one of the games, the very first game they led with was actually Rage 2, which was going to be a pretty big surprise drop because people didn't really realize that one game was coming at E3. But their friends in Walmart Canada announced that before them, and they poked a little fun at that. I thought was pretty funny. But they got to see some actually like not just a trailer but gameplay footage, which I thought was cool. I liked the first Rage. Rage 2 looks like they've made some improvements on it. Looked good.
I've never played it.
I mean, it's Bethesda's shooter, so it was kind of like a little bit of an RPG shooter, so Borderlands-esque, I'd say. But thought they let off with that. It was good. Made some announcements early on where I thought I called the big announcement at the end, but yeah, early on when they announced the phone game Blades, Elder Scrolls Blades, it's like, man, are they really gonna stiff us on Elder Scrolls another year?
Well, then also Skyrim on Alexa.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was hands down the biggest game, Skyrim on Alexa. And you play it on your Samsung fridge. That made me laugh. Very true. Kind of they're knocking on themselves for how many times they've
There's
released
an edition of
Skyrim.
Skyrim for everything.
Yeah. Believe me, if phones currently could run that game, it would be on your phone. So in like 10 years, you'll have Skyrim on your phone because Bethesda will re-release that game again.
I mean, pretty much anything. I just repainted my living room. We have a Skyrim just for that.
There's a Skyrim from every occasion. But the one thing, because it is the 10-year anniversary, because we'd already had the pre-announcement of Fallout 76, but it was a 10-year anniversary. I really kind of expected to see a remastered of Fallout 3. Or I really thought we would get a Fallout 3 Anniversary Edition for like the Nintendo Switch, and then re-released because there's no reason that the Switch couldn't run.
I'm surprised
Fallout
more.
3.
Yeah.
So I really expected that, and they didn't really do anything for 10-year anniversary of Fallout 3, which really kind of kicked.
As popular as Fallout is, I mean, Skyrim had a Switch port over.
Yeah, and that came out years after Fallout 3.
Bethesda also has Wolfenstein 2 coming out this month, so they might wait until after that to announce it.
Yeah, but we saw some pretty big games from them. Wolfenstein, new
Youngblood.
Doom, which from a little bit looks good. I'm excited to see Doom always. They gave Quake away for free. I think it's actually they're still giving Quake away for free till Tuesday, I believe, Monday or Tuesday.
Is that Quake or Quake Champions?
Quake Champions, sorry. Quake Champions, you can get that on Steam if you go to just quake.com. It'll link you to it if it's still for free. I went and downloaded it. The Elder Scrolls, or not Elder Scrolls, Skyrim Blades, which was neat. They kept talking about portrait mode, and I'm like, I hate filming that way. I hate taking pictures that way. Gaming, they're like, well, you can play in a meeting. I'm like, I just don't like portrait mode. It's landscape.
You can play at a meeting.
I guess it depends what you're meeting. But I thought that's interesting, and it's going to be released on everything. So that's pretty neat. Fallout 76, we actually got to see gameplay footage, and they expanded a little more on the online, which it made me feel better that I'm not going to log on to Fallout and there'd be like 1 million people. That's made me pretty happy. It's going to be, from what they said, a couple dozen people on a map that is bigger than any map they've ever done. So
Any map?
that's what they're claiming. So that being said, if it's only a couple dozen people,
That's a lot.
that's a lot of room to try to run into someone else.
Yeah.
So it seems like it'll also take a little bit of like the Borderlands, drop in and out and play with your friends. I like the fact that if you get killed, unlike regular MMOs where you lose a bunch of crap and you don't lose your crap, so you just get to respawn, because there is also the nukes they put in, which you can get down the codes to the nukes and launch an actual nuke on an area, which I think it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
I can't say I've ever seen that in a game before.
Yeah, you can actually nuke someone in a game. You have to get all the launch codes and then go through the thing and select your target and then lays waste to it. But that was my big worry. I'm like, I'm just minding my own business, traipsing through the wasteland, and all of a sudden, like, just a nuke falls on me, and then my character's wiped and I lose all my stuff. Apparently, I will die, but like...
Well, what about, I mean, there's the whole town creation too, right?
Yep.
So
Now
you could theoretically nuke someone's town off the map.
Yes, and they show footage of people, groups building like towns and stuff, and monsters wrecking your crap. What I originally thought was a flying deathclaw in the very first trailer, actually wound up being, what they showed a little better, it looked like it was a giant, like, mutated bat creature, and like rips the wall off of a shed or building, tears it off. So deathclaws, there's some new creatures and stuff, so that all looks cool. Big fan of Fallout.
Kind of want to play now.
Yeah, you should get it. So then Todd Howard, when he came on stage, kind of rock started up, talked about all of the stuff that they did. Poked fun at himself. He heard that some of their games have glitches, which I thought was hilarious. Then they moved into making the announcement that yes, they are working on a new Elder Scrolls game. It's going to be enormous. No date, no timeline. I'm calling it is going to be a next-gen console.
I'm figuring 2021.
Yeah, all we saw was just a swooping aerial view and then Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls 6, that's all you got.
That was it. Like, couldn't even really tell you what land it wasn't the swampy marshes or the desert. So it might just be Skyrim 2, which is just a reskinning of Skyrim again. I don't know. Could be. I guarantee you the next gen consoles will be a new Skyrim.
Yeah.
Or not a new Skyrim, another Skyrim. And then they also announced a brand new game that, again, you saw like a side of a space station, some stars, and their new open world game, which I actually forget the name of right now. We'll look that up.
We'll look it up.
But,
put it right there.
Put it right here. This is the name of it. It's awesome. Well, we'll see. Again, I bet it's next gen because no one's pulled off, I think, a really good open world space game that's been easy to play for the masses. So
It'll be a while.
So from there was Microsoft. Microsoft had their press conference. There actually was before Bethesda's. I thought Microsoft just doesn't think have all the the best exclusives right now.
I pretty much just kind of zoned out on Microsoft. I saw Halo and went, what, again?
Yep, there's Halo.
Hey, look, it's Master Chief. I'm out.
Yep, there's Halo and Gears of War. Those are coming out. We talked about that. And then they moved Sea of Thieves, I think, was shown 3 times. The game didn't do super well at launch. Still looked like I have not played it myself. It looked interesting. It was cartoony, but at the same time that Sea of Thieves was originally announced, which came out first, was Ubisoft's
Blood and Glory.
Yeah, which looked like a much grittier, realer version
that got my
of that
attention.
game. So, and we saw more of that at Ubisoft's conference, which that looks really. It looks like they stole a lot from
Black Flag. I thought, that's what I thought was, they took some stuff from Black Flag, and then Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you've got further ship combat. Like, wow, they're really putting those,
no whale hunting. We found out. I watched a really extended thing about gameplay on that, and they were talking about they took a lot of elements from Black Flag and things people liked about it, but there's no whale hunting in it. But you can build your crew, and they said you can recruit just about anybody you see, and bring them in part of the crew. They'll do different things, add stuff like that for the new Assassin's Creed game. Apparently, you can even friend or get a lion pet. Because
everyone needs a lion pet on a ship.
Yeah, exactly, because it's not going to get hungry and eat people. He's well behaved.
He's on a leash. He's all right.
Yeah, see, he's over there. Just don't go over there. But yeah, ship combat and stuff from there. Yeah, Microsoft. We also saw Forza. The new Forza is coming out, which that is an exclusive for them. It seemed like their big announcement was, we don't have any super big announcements to show you. But we bought 4 studios, one of which I did not realize they didn't already own, because it's the one that makes Forza. Forza's exclusive. I thought they already owned it. But now they do. My bad.
Better late than never.
I guess. So they bought 4 studios. That was kind of they really panned on that. We didn't see any more of their reality glasses that they've demoed twice. No more talk about that. Apparently we're getting out of that market.
Yeah.
Even though it seems to be doing well for Sony. I mean, Sony said they hit every goal they wanted. They exceeded every goal with their VR and continue to go forward.
Every ad I see for VR goggles, Sony, Samsung.
Yeah.
Those 2.
But yeah, I really assumed Microsoft would put their altered reality stuff looked neat when they demoed it. I was interested to see that. Nothing again. But they've demoed all sorts of stuff over the years. If you remember Milo, probably 5 years ago, maybe it was longer than that, where it was Peter Molyneux, and it was it really looked like you interacted with the Kinect and this kid, and it was going to be They probably had to shut that down because that was going to be Skynet, and that kid was going to that AI was going to just take over and just revolt against humans. Imagine that's probably why that project was shut down.
AIs, man. Don't mess with them.
No, but I, for one, welcome our new AI overlords. But yeah, so then Sony had a slew.
A lot.
Like I said, theirs was just trailers. But I think Sony right now has much better exclusives, more interesting exclusives compared to Microsoft. Just
There are a few though that's left me going.
like what one?
Death Stranding. That's
Death
the top
Stranding.
one.
Yeah,
Just
Death
because
Stranding, that is.
as soon as it starts, you're like, what is this? I'm looking through a fleshy hole. Is that a butt? What? Oh, it's a little baby. Where am I going?
Yeah.
And then we get to see Daryl from Walking Dead walking.
I think that I put them up to make the Lord of the Rings game. So all the walking that's in
Because apparently you're playing him. He's a.
Pack Mule. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure you.
I called him a UPS driver without a truck.
Yeah. He's carrying.
Just
Lots of carrying different stuff.
walking across
Gotta carry.
the wasteland, got his stuff. At one point, he's carrying a wrapped up dead body, is what it looked like
Yep.
on his bag.
Could have been, I don't know, an umbrella and I don't know. Could have been something. Chair. Could have been a chair. IKEA collapsible chair.
So there's a lot of that, a lot of him
Yeah.
looking up at the sky, and then some woman's voice. And then right at the end, you see some interesting stuff, some phantom-like creature just kind of
Yeah.
hanging in the sky. and-
Apparently, what the gist that you can get from it is if that thing touches you, the phantom thing, like it steals time from you. I think, maybe
You'll come back, I guess, but something.
makes them. I don't know. I don't really know.
I don't know.
But you know what? I'd like to say we know more than last year about the game, which we kind of do. We know there's ghosty things,
They look
and
kind
there's
of cool.
walking in the game. You can walk.
They showed the ghosty things last year.
Did they?
They were in the trailer at the end.
Oh yeah, I guess they were. It's been a year, and like literally that trailer's so short with so little information. I didn't rewatch it a whole bunch.
But for the length of this trailer, the amount of just. I mean, I get it. They're trying to show off the landscape.
Hey,
and
there's
how
also
beautiful
climbing.
it is. Climbing. But great, you have great landscape. These days, most games do have great landscape. And all we're seeing is him walking.
Yeah. So yeah, you turn it, if you had the power of a baby, apparently you can
Yeah,
see
he's on
dead
his
people.
chest.
Maybe.
You could, I guess, infuse your DNA into it, and then I don't know.
I don't know. Well,
a lot of questions.
A lot of questions. We'll see what happens with that one. We got to see more from the sequel to the very first one with Ellen Page. Man,
Last of Us.
Last of Us, man.
Last of Us 2
I said
looked
Last Standing.
really
Why?
good.
Yeah.
I mean, the gameplay had everything to the point where it seemed more realistic than most other games I've seen with that type.
Yeah, I also said like the action when she's running through like that from under the car, the person leans over, shoots them, and then she's like running out and like as she like grabs a beer bottle and chucks it, like just the fluidity of like the gameplay and the action. I was like, wow, that's really smooth if it truly does play like that, which supposedly that is gameplay footage.
Yeah,
Like,
because you were
that's-
seeing targeting and
Yeah, but-
whatnot when she was firing.
So I mean that was pretty neat. I look forward to that one, which kind of it was more people than you didn't see the little face
Yeah,
fungus guys. But that should be pretty interesting. Again, exclusive to them. That looks really good. Then there was all. I mean, Sony had probably the most beautiful, realistic games debuted. Like that was just panoramics and a lot of musical interlude, which was kind of.
Like Samurais seemed
Yep.
to be a big thing too, because there were two different games. There's
I think there's more than that, but like two big ones that you really.
Ghosts of Tsushima, which looked
Again,
amazing.
Beautiful color palette. Just
Yes.
like
Yeah, this
Mongol
dark,
invasion.
stormy sky, and then you have these bright red leaves on this tree. And again, you see the main character, you're introduced to him, and you see him going through a variety of different.
walking. The walking was a theme too.
Yeah, that's the big theme
People
of
are gonna
E3
walk this year.
So you see him going through a bunch of different areas, so you can show off, again, the landscape, the architecture. He meets up with a female companion, you think. The two of them take out a bunch of bandit guys. They're trying to save a monk while he's being held at the temple by these guys. Okay, let's go. And then they go. Your guy shows off some stealth moves, drops in, kills like 3 guys like nothing, although the whole thing was set up very much like Japanese samurai movie. The moves, the actions, it didn't have that overblown video gamey feel to it. It felt more realistic. But you save this monk guy, but the bad guys blow their warning horn, and you're about to leave, and then the woman that you came in with, that you thought was your ally, nope, she wants that guy dead, and she wants the honor of killing him, so now you gotta fight her, and full-on Aijutsu duel. It's beautiful. I love samurai lore to begin with, so any game that can get that even halfway right, I'm interested in, so this really got my interest.
Yeah, it's very cool. We'll look forward to seeing more and more of the trailers and more kind of what the full story is about in the game. The one thing you do know, it's like takes place in the Mongol invasion, because that's mentioned like the very first thing. The Mongols are here, repeated a couple times, or the Mongols are coming.
And I think that's the big thing that separates this one from the other big samurai games, that this one seems very rooted in history and reality, whereas the other one, which is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, by the same people that make the Dark Souls games, this one is full out giant oni and ogres and this nasty stuff, but it looks cool.
More Japanese lore, but again, looks good. Like, interested to see more about that. Trailer on that one what is that? So, did it walk you through on that one? I'm trying to remember. There was like three or four kind of Japanese. Which one did the trailer walk you through on that one? The ogres and stuff, because there was another one that came out like that too.
It kept showing the big ogre with this. It seemed like the main bad guy that kept showing was the big ogre, and your guy taking him on. And then at the end, it went to their title screen, and then it came back, and you're on a rope bridge, and your guy's slowly going across, and this giant snake, for lack of a better term, suddenly
It's
comes
like
up.
Naga thing. Yeah, okay.
But it looked interesting. Again, these are just first look trailers, so anything could look really cool right now.
It's easy to make a trailer. Other big one, two other big ones that come to mind for me that were talked about was, I think the top one on your list, just is Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk 2077. This is a game that they have been working on for forever.
I want to say it's been almost 10 years.
If you're familiar with the Witcher series, same company, CD Projekt Red, and they've been, hey, we're working on this. We're working on this. Okay. And now you finally get a trailer. So now the pressure's kind of on. You've shown the trailer. Can you actually put up?
Still no. After all this time, still no. No 2019, no 2020, 2047. Right now, I don't know if they've done anything other than make a nice looking trailer.
I mean, at this point, just the toxicity that you get from the backlash of fans. If you give this date, and especially a game like this that has been teased for years, if you say we're coming out February 2019 and you miss that date, you're getting slammed. So yeah, it probably is best just to step back.
I want them to be able to put out the quality game that they want, but at the same time, you have to edit. Like, if you keep going,
technology keeps getting better. So you have to either go back
and then redo, and it's just a never-ending cycle. At some point, you have to say, "This is going to be our game." Like, love it, hate it. This is it. This is what we got. This is the best we could do with what we had. Play. So, which I'd like to see. Like, I want that game. I want to see it. I want to stop just hearing about it and get a trailer every E3.
I mean, the trailer, it didn't really give a sense of what you're doing.
No.
So that could go any number of ways.
You could have the last year one, you were like hunting, or like not hunting, but like tracking a guy, and there's like some kind of stealth operative mission is what it kind of looked like.
Because Cyberpunk plays really well with the whole film noir aspect of investigations and whatnot.
It did look a little brighter than my Cyberpunk vision. But, I mean, imagine the sun still exists in 2077, hopefully.
I mean, I would think with the popularity of Altered Carbon on Netflix, that would have, fired them up a little bit more to, hey, we need to get this game out. People are really enjoying this. Let's do this. But again, no release date, so we could have just get a trailer and then
Could be another one next year.
it could become vaporware and we never see it.
Yeah. The other one we got, a big game that looks amazing that we got a trailer for is Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yes.
So super looking forward to that game. Now they only like announced it last year that they were working on it, because I don't think anyone really knew. I think they'd been trying to work on something for several years. Every time it had fallen through, so like really I didn't think anybody thought they were ever going to do it. But then big announcement.
It looked
last
amazing.
year. This year we got a longer, more in-depth trailer. Again, trailers are easy to make look amazing. So no gameplay footage of it in that trailer. I know there is a little bit of gameplay footage of flying around and stuff. It looks great. No release date either. I'm hoping that we see that game next E3. I think for both those games have to have a hard date if they don't have it before it.
That's one thing that always bugged me. Like you said, you can make a great trailer fairly easily. Yeah. It's just, I work in 3D anyway, so I know keyframing and creating, modeling all this, it takes a lot of work, but you can make it look very fluid, very movie-like and awesome. And that used to bug the crap out of me. You would see this awesome looking trailer, but then when it came to the actual gameplay, it was very choppy, pre-programmed moves. It just, little by little, it seems like we're getting, because The Last of Us 2 really drove that home, it seems like we're getting a lot closer to melding those two. And this Beyond Good and Evil, it looked freaking amazing. In fact, it came from Ubisoft. It caught me completely off guard.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, trailers can look great. We have no release date, but I do trust in Ubisoft. It was it the Vietnam studio? They've got multiple studios. I think it was the Vietnamese studio.
I think it is that one. But yeah, what other stuff? Nintendo, now Smash Brothers, of course, we mentioned that earlier. Well, not just announced, but you actually got to see some Smash Brothers, some of the characters. It's looking like there's going to be online support for that, which is awesome to be able to play online on the Switch. Other than that, like a lot of the stuff you thought you already knew was coming from Nintendo, it was a little, everything you thought was going to happen, happened. Got to see more of the Pokemon games. There are 2 of them that are coming out if you're a big Pokemon fan.
That was a complaint I heard, that they showed you a smattering of Pokemon stuff, but gave you no real information and didn't really push, because they own at least a portion of
something like that. They own a portion of the Pokemon world or franchise.
So the fact that they haven't really capitalized on that and really...
I'll be honest, I'm surprised it has taken this long to get a Pokemon game on the Switch. I've never been a big Pokemon, I've never played Pokemon, but like, just I know the popularity
the success of Pokemon Go, I mean, that alone, you would think
they would have just ported, at least Pokemon Go.
Well, yeah, with the portability of the Switch, there's got to be some way to put those together. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I've always loved Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
And this one, apparently, they've added a few things. Actually, it seems like we mentioned the ship combat. So you're getting what you expect from Assassin's Creed. You're getting the beautiful vistas, the giant things you can, parkour up and down off of. The ship combat looked like at least a little bit of underwater.
Yep, you can definitely, the extended play I saw that, there's swimming and underwater exploration.
And I saw
Shark almost did a guy.
Narrative trees. So instead of just walking up to someone and they tell you what they got to tell you, they talk, and then you're given a tree of choices of what you want to respond with. That's kind of new. And then also apparently there are at least 3 different endings.
I think at least that. I'm willing to bet we see quite a few different kind of endings.
Which for replay value is freaking awesome.
Yep. I know they said there's different love interests that you can do into it. And then one thing I did to kind of take away from a lot of the footage I saw, it is a little, like you still have stealth options. Like Assassin's Creed has typically been a lot of, stealth kind of mission. You're an assassin.
But Spartan Warrior, though, is not really all about stealth.
Spartan, there is some stealth, like they showed stealth and doing it, but a lot of the footage you see is, Spartan Warrior, sword, swinging, just running back up, crushing your enemy.
And your character has the spear, or a portion of the spear tip of Leonidas from the 300, which I guess is magical. There's at one point where it shows him lifted up and it glows.
It's alien.
And he leaps down and hits the ground, and you got that explosive burst, and everyone falls.
So I think the glow, the orange glow, because bad guys, if you watch like some of the footage, your enemies, and you have that, I think that denotes an unblockable hit. So get the fuck out of the way.
Okay.
So if you're staying there, unblockable. You're going to be like a crit. Essentially, you're a crit.
But it does seem like Ubisoft has looked at BioWare and went, Mass Effect, Dragon's Age, they all have the love interests, they have multiple endings, they let you, talk to people. We should try that. That's the feel I got. So if that's the direction they're going, I'm all for that.
I like the options and stuff like that. We'll see how it plays out, how they implement it, how it works. But yeah, I've always liked BioWare's trees of talking, and then you can go with Paragon or Renegade Path or.
Speaking of which, did BioWare have any presence?
I think they're there, but I don't think they have.
Because I know they had said, yes, we are working on a new Dragon Age. Yep. Yes, Mass Effect is not dead. We're looking at that. But other than that, we're doing stuff.
Yep. I don't know what. Mass Effect's one of my favorite games. For all the flack that Andromeda got, I enjoyed it. So it was a different direction, but I enjoyed it.
I'm a big Dragon Age fan, so I still want to go back and replay Inquisition. That's what made me buy the tabletop RPG. I love that setting.
Yeah, this is neat.
Why are you trying to hit me with your wrist laser, Matt?
No wrist lasers here.
My phone is.
No, yeah.
Look at us going over. We need to stop.
Okay.
What did we miss? Spider-Man had a new game, which looked. Okay, Matt brought this up. I hadn't watched the trailer yet. I watched it this morning. This is essentially Arkham Asylum, but with Spider-Man on the fortress.
Yeah. I don't think the whole thing's going to take. I think maybe the opening takes place in the prison. I think the rest of it's going because the rest of the other stuff they've shown is in the city.
Arkham City.
Yeah. Okay. Arkham City, with the intro of Arkham Prison. I think that's what it's going to be. But yeah, that looked. I gotta say, it looked like you got to be Spider-Man. Like it looked very neat.
And that's always been the big test.
Yeah.
Does it feel like you're Spider-Man?
Yeah. Does it feel like you're being shunned away from doing all the actions that you really wanted to be able to do?
I want to climb this building. Nope, it's too tall. Nope, you're going off the map.
I want to shoot webs. Nope, can't do that. I want to stick to that and jump on that. No. So this one seemed like it gave you the freedom of the open world. So.
But if you haven't, all of the trailers are online. Go check them out.
There is so much we didn't even touch on because there's so much announced and shown and new stuff. So.
It's a multi-day event. There's a lot of stuff.
So, all right.
That's it for us. We will see you next week. I'm sure Sean will probably be posting more videos and photos from Origins, so be sure to check out the GeekStorm Facebook page for that. And we will see you next week.
Bye.